Hello, Justin and Andrew. It's Nico from Cliff Jones RV here in Sealy. Want to make this quick video on your 29TE to show you walkthrough with our technician Tommy. Here he is.
Good afternoon. I'd like to show you a few of the features here so you're familiar with it when you do receive this unit. So here on the front, we're going to start the front tongue jack. You do have what they call a breakaway cable assembly. This goes to a little plunger that actually, if this would come unhitched from your unit, of your tow vehicle, then it would pull a plunger and it would lock your brakes on your RV. These are your safety chains, safety chain holder. And also, this is attached to your tow vehicle, 7-way connector, which charges your battery and provides all the lighting and braking for your RV. It does come with 2 20-pound bottles for propane. These are both topped off. It does come with a regulator. Now, the regulator is not an automatic regulator. Notice it's green. That means I have this bottle turned on over here. I'll turn this knob here. You see this little arrow indicator? That's actually pointing to this jug. So I have this one turned on. When this would turn red, then you would turn this one off, turn this assembly knob over here, and turn this one on. So it's very simple. If you need to remove it, it's got a little wing nut here. Pop it off, remove your regulator, your 2 pigtails, and then you can fill your jugs accordingly. Up here we have an electric tongue jack. It does come equipped with a convenience light out here, so if it's in the dark or whatever you're trying to hitch or whatever, it does give you some lighting. And then you're going to go up and down. So initially, when you're towing it and when you're traveling with this vehicle, when you're setting it up, you need to get it level from front to rear by using your tongue jack. Now on the front and on the rear, both passenger and driver side, there's what we call stabilizer jack. Then you would put those jacks down to stabilize your unit, and then you go inside, put your stairs out, and open up your slide out. Always remember when you have a slide that do the slide at the last, because it puts too much pressure on your stabilizer jacks. Plus, it would be a lot evener, a lot more leveler. Back here we have a marine deep cycle battery that comes with the unit, and what we call it in the industry is a juice pack. So in the juice pack you have a battery box, and up on top you have a 50-watt solar panel. Now what that's going to do is basically trickle charge your battery, and in effect, if you're off the grid, it'll run your lighting, your control voltages for your stove, etc., your refrigerator, so you can pretty much go off grid with it. Now if you want to go fully off the grid, you might have to get a bigger watt solar panel. So it is equipped with that. So there's 3 ways you're going to keep your battery charged: when you're towing it, by your solar panel, and when you have it plugged into 120 volts. So that's it for this area. There's really no maintenance up here. Just make sure your jugs are full for your propane. Over here to the you do have a water heater, and it is a 6-gallon water heater. You can run it either on electric. Right here's your element behind here. This is or gas. This is your gas valve. This is your electronic ignition and your gas chamber. So most of the time, people are, when you have it plugged in, making sure that you have water in your water heater, they just go ahead and turn this on right here, and it'll automatically ignite your water heater, turn it on and off to heat your water. If you want to use it on gas, you would turn this switch off in the off position, and inside on the monitor panel, I'll show you there's a water heater switch. Like I said earlier, if you turn it on, it'll automatically ignite, come on and off to keep your water heated. There is some maintenance new here. This is what they call in the industry anode rod. It comes in any water heater, like electric water heater in a residence or whatever residential. So you would need to pull that. I recommend once a year to check it. It keeps your tank from corroding and keeps it safe. So you do close it up like that. It's got a little latch here, closes down. This right here area, I'd recommend a bug screen to go over this. Keeps in our area we have what we call mud daubers, so they get in there and block the chamber. If you want to use it on gas, it would not start. It would keep it from starting. Over here we have your water center. So right down here is going to be your hot and cold running outdoor shower. Over here is a fresh water connection. So if you're off the grid and you don't have access to city water or well water, you would fill this tank up, and you would turn on a pump inside on the monitor panel to pump water to all your fixtures. In your case, you're going to be hooking up to your city water connections with this one right here. So basically, you're going to hook up your with a water hose or whatever, drinking water hose. And I do recommend putting a water regulator on the end of the hose and then installing it onto your outlet fitting here. As I mentioned before, these are your stabilizer jacks. You got 2 in the front and 2 in the rear. This right here, it comes with a hand crank, but I recommend getting a 3/4 inch socket with a portable drill. They go up and down real easy. I have lubed both the front and rear jacks, both sides for you, so they go up and down real easy. Out here we have a convenience light, and the reason it's a convenience light, it's over because it's over your sewer dump. So it'll give you some lighting here in case you have to dump it in the middle of the night, at least you can see what's going on. It also has a cable port here. If you have access to cable wherever you're parked at, you would connect it over here, and then it will feed to all your different TV locations. Over here we have what they call the dump site. So what it is going to have a 3-inch hose that's going to go here. Okay, 3-inch hose. It's going to fit right here. It's kind of color coordinated. So you're going to have the gray tank, which is your galley water, your bathroom water, bathroom sink, shower water. Then over here you got black. That's your black tank. So it's got some water in it because I cleaned out your lines. They come where they're winterized. So I've cleaned it all out for you and water tested everything. So these are in an open position. Now, I don't know if you're going to be living in it, staying in it for a while, what you can do is you can leave this gray open all the time because it's just regular soapy water. But you're going to need to remember to leave your black tank closed at all times because it works better if you have water inside the tank, and you also have to put some treatment packages in there also, which helps for the smell and also helps break up the matter. So leave this one closed, the black closed. I'll show you on our monitor panel when it gets 2/3 or full, you need to come out here and dump it. This is your slide, which is your dinette / sofa slide. So there's only one thing you really need to remember about this is as far as maintenance, you have what we call in the industry wiper seals. You got them on the sides, both sides, and at the top. Periodically, you'll need to put some rubber conditioner on this, and it's a foam spray that you spray on it. You don't wipe it off and then go in and out a couple times to make sure they're lubed real well. This is the point what keeps moisture out. So if they start cracking or they'll start tearing, you'll have a water issue. Out here you got outdoor storage underneath your bunks. So you got quite a bit of area here, pretty much well self-explanatory. This is your outlet where you're going to plug into. So it is, I'm going to mark this out, it is a 120 volt, 50 amp circuit that you're going to need. I'm using our cord, extension cord right now. I've already tested yours. Yours is up front in the cargo area, and I'll get to it in just a minute. You do have a cargo rack back here with a spare tire on it. This cargo rack is rated for 200 pounds. That includes your tire. So basically it's 170 pound capacity. These are your the pivot pin. Just pull these pins on both sides and it'll lay down, and then pin it to secure it open. It is a pet friendly unit, so you do have a leash latch. You got a drawer underneath here on your outdoor kitchen. This is basically a dummy a service entrance here to get to the P-trap for underneath your sink. And then you also, it comes with the outdoor little grill. So it runs off your front propane tanks. You get a lighter, light it. Comes with a ice maker. Really easy it batches ice every 6 to 8 minutes. Hot and cold running water outside. That's plumbed. That goes into your gray tank. You got lights out here, our push button lights above. And then you have a 5.5 cubic foot refrigerator freezer, right there. 120 volts. You do have a thermostat here. This is very easily locked up, has shocks on both sides. Come down, you're gonna have one lock in the center, and you got 4 other latches to keep it closed. So you rotate it clockwise, every one of them, and then you got a key lock. It's a silver key that goes to this. We'll keep going to the outside. You have 2 entry doors on this unit. You've got one for the living area, then you got one at the bathroom area. You got screen doors that are attached to it. These doors come keyed. This is number 389, and then of course you'll have this other door that's keyed differently. So you're going to have 2 sets of 2 keys for this door, which go to your deadbolt, and your top latch. So, and you'll have 2 keys for your bedroom entry, or a bathroom entry. This is your vent for your stove. Needs to be open when you're using it, so so just leave it open wherever you're at, and if you go to travel, you need to snap it in place. This is your intake and outtake for your propane heater for your heat, so I recommend a bug screen to go over that. 2 outdoor waterproof speakers. LED lights come on along with the rope lights underneath the awning with the awning switch inside. It is equipped with a TV mount. You've got a GFI circuit here, and you also have the antenna and an audio jack. This is for your black tank flush. I recommend maybe every 2 or 3 times after you've dumped to hook up a water hose to here with your black gate open and turn on the water. It's got a little hose with a nozzle that goes into the black tank. That'll help clean out the excess matter to the paper and stuff in there. So it's a good idea every 2 to 3 times to do that. Make sure it's cleaned out real good. Going on, this is your bathroom entry door. So notice it is keyed 378. So you're gonna have 2 378 keys and 2 389 keys. These steps are different than the steps over there. These are fold steps. So you just fold them up and push them inside. The ones over in your main entry will fold inside so that they'll disappear when you're traveling. Here's your front cargo area. So it does come with, like I said, a tested 50 amp cord, short cord. This right here I mentioned before too. It's for your manual crank. I recommend a 3/4 inch socket with a portable drill. And this little crank is for your tongue jack up front. If something would happen to your motor, or a motor would go out, you pop a cap on the top, put this in, and you can manually crank it so you won't be stranded. Let's walk into the inside now. Show you a little bit about the monitor panel and little things about the unit. This is the bunk area. Notice you have lights up top above each bunk, and they're push button. All the lights in here are push button lights. So each bunk has their own light. Behind me, you have a place where you got your antenna and your cord, so you can put a TV right here, or just set it here, or there's really no backing for it. So I would recommend just stand-alone TV right here. You notice here you do have a air conditioner actually in your bunk area. Now it's got 4 outlets to it, and there's 4 outlets for the other air conditioner. So you got 2 vents in here and then 2 vents in your living room. That's going to actually get air out of these vents. So the control for that is on the other side of the wall by your entry door. It's very easy to use. So we'll go, it's in the off position there. Then you got low fan, high cool, low auto, and high auto. I recommend high auto or low auto, and then just adjust your temperatures accordingly. And then to turn it off, you would just go to the off position. And notice there's air blowing out of these 2, and then air would be blowing out of the 2 in your bunk area. And it does, bunk area has a privacy door, so you can close that off, but it does have enough air, gap here for your door to allow air to flow in and out, out for the return of the air conditioner. Let's go over to the monitor panel. We'll go over this real quick, the area here. So what we have up here, we've got you're gonna have some LEDs. So we got a battery. So the battery is fully charged. Then you got fresh water. I've got 2/3 in. Your black tank is empty, of course, and your gray tank is empty. So if your black tank, if you go check it, you hit the black button, and it looks like that, you need to go ahead and empty that black tank. Okay? So, and then we've got your water pump. The water pump you'll probably never use unless you're off the grid and you don't have access to the city water or well water, but it will pump water out of the fresh water tank, and that's what I'm using today to show you the water. So, and then also I mentioned outside your water heater is either a gas or electric. So if you want to use it on gas, you would turn that water heater switch on, and you notice the fault light up here. That fault light will go out when it's lit. It might take, there it is, so it's lit right now. If it would come back on, that means you probably don't have any propane or out of propane, or like the gas is not turned on, or you have an obstruction out there. So right now it's lit. Now we got some lighting switches here. So the main lighting is going to turn off these lights. So I think there's 1, 2, 5 of them. It's going to right above the TV and right in the center of the living area. So those lights are also independent lights. They have a button in the center, so if you don't want one of them on, you can turn it off by itself. The slide light, if you look above the slide, is the blue lights. And then your convenience light, like on the outside where I show you above your where your sewer dump is, this is the convenience light, the light outside. And then you got your awning light, which is the awning for the rope light above the awning or below the awning, and then your speaker lights. This is your slide in and slide out. So slide in, we're not going to go all the way in, but I'm going to go in the end. And this is what they call an in-wall slide. So you got a motor on your left and right that move this unit in and out. So let's say it'll stop on its own when it's all the way in, and to go out, just push out and it's going to stop on its own. Now you're going to hear some flipping and flopping. That's the wiper seals going back and forth, so changing direction. Now, I did want to mention something on your slide. Once you have the slide in, you can store stuff, heavy stuff on top of it. But when you're pushing it out or extending it, you need to take the weight off of it, because you'd have 2 DC motors on each side. Like I said previously, that if you have more weight on one side or the other, it could struggle to go out and get in a bind and then throw a coat on you. So always remember to keep the weight off of it if possible. Awning extend and retract. So the extend, it's a button. Only thing you need to know about the awning, it does not stop on its own. So I tell people to be looking for a flap to come down, and I'll go through the whole process of opening up. So it doesn't have a stop. Now this is all contingency on a calm day. You don't want to open this thing up on a blustery or if there's a chance of thunderstorms and you happen to leave see the flap down and you can see the canister. That's as far as you want to extend it. Of course, like I said, you have to stop it. And to retract, it's going to retract a little slower, just make sure it wraps correctly. When it gets back against the side of the RV, that's locked in place, so it's got a motor lock on it, so you don't have to lock anything down outside. You're ready to travel. Here's a sink. It's got hot and cold running water. Got a little sprayer here. You got a little place where you can put some hand sanitizer in here. Just dump it in there and pump it out. Comes in all RVs now. Most of the Forest Rivers that we get, Cherokees. The lighting above your sink, these are all independent. So you got 2 above and then 2 underneath your cabinet here. This is your microwave, 120 volt microwave. You got a little light underneath your, and then you got a vent fan. It takes a few seconds to ramp up the speed. And then of course you have your stove. This is your hot burner, and these 2 are your, I think there are about 8 and then 6s. So anyway, you would put it in high position, and then just use the spark on all those. It does come with a little oven light down in there. To light your oven, you would line up your flame to your arrow. Notice it goes in pretty far, otherwise it won't. So where it clicks in, hold it down, and then you would use this click. You'd open your door, make sure it's lit, let go, and then it would you turn it to the temperature you want, and it'll maintain that temperature. So this is for traveling. Give you a little extra space for your countertop. Goes down here like this. Right down here is where as I mentioned outside, your heater, propane heater for your heat. So that's where you'll hear it come on over there. The thermostat, I want to mention, the thermostat on the wall for your bunk air conditioner does not run your heater. The heater the air conditioner controls in the hallway run the heater. So that's the only way you can turn on the heat with that thermostat for the living room air conditioner. Over here we have a 12 volt refrigerator. It's an Everchill, so it's pretty popular now for all the units to come out with a 12 volt refrigerator. And one of the nice things about these is that it doesn't take long to cool. There are controls for your freezer, cold and colder, and then you have controls down here for your refrigerator. There is a 10-second, if you hold this button down 10 seconds, it will come on, and then you keep pushing, you go from temp control from 1 through 5. So it should come on. So now the unit is on now. So it's going to go, so the light comes on and it's at the 3 mode. The 3, with that in the center, is going to give you 9 degrees in the freezer. It's going to give you about 40 degrees in refrigerator. And like I mentioned before, this is a 12-volt refrigerator, and hour and a half it is cold. Down here we have what we call a converter. Basically it's the breaker box for the RV, like in a house. So you have all your 120 volt breakers, 50 amp main. You got a breaker for both ACs. You got a breaker for this box right here. You got a breaker for your water heater, microwave, GFI circuits, and your general circuits. Over here you have 12 volt fuses. These 12 volt fuses for your lighting, all your lighting's 12 volts, your control voltage, your motors to your slide out, everything is mapped out. As well as for your 120 volt. One good thing about this converter, if a fuse would blow, a little red light come on beside it, tell you that that's the one that's out. And this just clicks in place. Before I go any further off this, while we're talking about electrical, I do highly recommend to get you even if it's inexpensive, 50 amp surge protector. It's gonna go a long way for you. People always call back. They said that this fuse blew, or they got a problem with the refrigerator. So it is common. You can't trust where you get your electrical from most of the time. So anyway, I do recommend it. So this is your CO2 detector, carbon monoxide. So it's in the green. So that means it's working. So if it would flash red real fast, that means you need to evacuate your RV, find out the root of the problem, and get it fixed. If it starts beeping real slow, like every 15 to 20 seconds, that means it needs to be replaced. The life of these are anywhere 5, 6 years, or maybe even longer. This is what you call your battery disconnect. So it will disconnect the power to the inside of your unit, your 12 volt power from your battery. Now, do keep in mind, this is always going to have power because it's hardwired to the front. So by law, this has to be on all the time. But if you leave it all on, even if you leave it, I would leave it on all the time, unless you plan to store it for over 6 months or so. That way, I just recommend it that it's not going to hurt your unit. That way, when you want to get in here to open something up, you have it's already on. Okay, right here we have a pantry, so it's quite a bit of space here for use. Right up here, it's what we call, if you notice that right there is the vacuum breaker for your black tank flush. So it's on the exterior of the unit, but I just want to let you know what that is. That keeps from backflow coming from your black tank. So just if you wanted to know what that was. So here's your TV area. It does come with a TV mount for your TV. 120 volts, audio video, cabling. This is your power booster, antenna booster. So notice the green light, if you can see it, is on. So as long as that's on, if you do a TV scan, channel scan on your TV, it'll pick up all your local stations and so forth. It's got a digital antenna up on top. If you got cable or something, you need a straight shot through this booster. So you just turn that off, and you'll pick up. You get your cable from the outside. This right here is a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can look up the this website, and they'll give you all the information on that. Over here, let's just turn around just for a second. It won't take very long. You do have 2 booth drawers for storage on both sides, and you have to lift up and pull out because there's a little wood block in there to keep these things in. Also, this is your dinette / you can make this into a bed if you needed. What you would do is take the table off, these legs come off, and you put the table down on your braces down here, and then adjust your position your cushions accordingly to make it into a nice little bed. Right here, this is your sofa. This makes also into a bed. All you do is hold it up like this and it goes flat. You also have some storage underneath there. Let's go into the hallway area, and we'll make back around to the bathroom. So this is your main control for your living room air conditioner. So it's got the same features: low fan, high cool, low cool, low auto, high auto, and then this is where you have your heat mode. So this is where you're gonna, for your heater, propane heater, you'll adjust your heat. And it is propane heat, so it's got an automatic igniter in there. So the fan's going to come on, it's going to ignite, and when it gets to the set temperature that you requested, it's going to shut off the gas, and then the fan's going to continue to run just like in a residence till the chambers cool down enough, and the fan will cut off. So we'll just cut that off right there. So it's very simple air conditioning heating control. Back into the bedroom here, you have a emergency exit on the left there. You pull that up, so that is your emergency exit. These shades are tension shades, so these strings are for tension only. You don't want to pull on those. Just pull them up and down. Just go right in the center. Pull in the center of them. You do have 2 wardrobe closets, one on each side, above bed storage. You have USB and 120 volt ports. That comes with a optional charger for a Bluetooth speaker / flashlight. You do have 3 lights in here, 1 above, these are all push button, and 2 above bed. And then you have, which is very nice, you got 2 outlets in your bedroom, which is excellent to keep you cool. And then you got your TV back, you can put a mount of TV here with your antenna and your 120 volts. And then you have storage underneath. That goes into your front cargo area. A lot of people like put a panel in between so they can put blankets and keep spiders and stuff out of there. Oh, let's go this way for your door. That's 2 inches for a door. You can enter it from the bedroom. So this is your bathroom. Hot and cold running water. Medicine cabinet. Right here's your GFI circuit reset. So all your GFI outlets, if you have a problem with that, not having power in them, I would check here first, the green light. If it's on, that means it's good. And you go from there. Otherwise, it would turn red. You got some storage underneath here. Then you got your shower. Hot and cold running water. Got a little skylight up here for extra headroom if you're tall. You got your pedal flush toilet. So I tell people, number 1, you just go ahead and do your business and dump it. Number 2, you want to get a little water in the bowl, so just barely push it and it'll fill up your bowl a little bit. And then go ahead and do it. When it's done, go ahead and dump it down. Then right here is an access panel for us to get in there for service for the P-trap and stuff underneath your shower. When you're traveling, these need to be closed, lock in place. And then we have an exit door in a hallway for your bathroom. So that's about it. I hope you enjoy your RV. Pleasure doing business with you.